Man, I've been waiting a long time to make this video. What is up, Finn fans? Yes, I waited till this Monday. Again, I'm recording this Sunday. You notice I'm wearing the same thing as the last video, recording them at the same time. But I've been waiting to make this video for about a month, right? I waited till the Monday before free agency started. Because again, this week is just going to be jam-packed, filled with free agent videos. I think tomorrow's video I'm going to talk about, there are some potential trade options out there. Are the Dolphins going to talk about it? Be inquired with it. We're going to, delve into that. Big O, me and him have our show. I have a ton of content. I'm going to talk about the thought process on what the Dolphins should be doing this free agency. I do it kind of every year compared to last year. So I got a lot planned. But again, this video, a lot of you guys have been asking me questions. What do you think about this guy? What do you think about that guy? Would we potentially go after him, or him? And I kept I wanted to answer, but I didn't want to answer. I kept doing a lot of collabs, go on other guys' channels. They'd ask me those questions. Well, what do you think? And I'm like, I don't want to spoil this exact video. So we're going to jump into this. I'm not going to, mess around too much. A lot of you guys have been waiting for this video. So hit that thumbs up. Let me know you like it. And let's jump into this, right? Right now, the Dolphins are sitting at around $61.2 million in cap space. That is the most in the NFL, right? A lot of people here, well, I thought it was around 80. That is if the Dolphins make specific cuts, right? If you go back and watch my cut video, I talked about releasing Eric Rowe, Jesse Davis, Allen Hurts, Clayton Fejedelem, Sathan Carter, Adam Shaheen, and Greg Little. That would get the Dolphins to around $80 million in cap space. Now, this cap space is also depending on the change in the cap, right? There might be a flux, with depending on how much the NFL made in ticket prices, commercials, sales, all that stuff. There could be a growth of 20 to 30 million, which could put the Dolphins up around 100 million, 90 to 100 million in cap space. And again, they have the potential to get to around 85 before that even happens, right? And then again, if there is an increase in the cap, then the Dolphins could be setting out about 100 million in cap space. So I did a lot of research. I looked at a ton of free agents. There are potential, Amari Cooper can get cut. There, now the Cowboys are talking about, well, we see that this got leaked, so now we're going to try to trade him. You're dumb. Because now no one's going to want to trade for him, especially, you are on the fast track to re-sign Gallup. No one's going to trade for him. You're going to cut him. So, there's a potential that he hits the open market. There's Jarvis Landry. They're going to try to trade him. Again, these are trade videos I'm going to talk about unless they get cut. Then, you can add them to this list. But essentially, there's not a lot of defense on here, right? I got a few defense. I think I got 3 defenders on here, but it's mostly offense. Because to me, the linebackers aren't great when it comes to free agency. You have a few. Van Der Esch is a possibility. You got a few guys in there that you can plug into that linebacker role. But I'm focusing on the offense, right? And let's jump into it. I keep saying that, and then I talk for too long. It's already about 4 minutes into the video, and I haven't even told you one person I target in free agency. Now, this is who I would target. Not saying that the Dolphins are going to target this player, but this is who I would target. Now, we need a backup quarterback. Unfortunately, Tua has shown that he gets nicked up a little bit. 2020, I think he had a hand injury, missed the Jets game. This past year, he had the rib injury. Could have came back. There's the saying out there, even Flores came out and said that he was fighting to get back on the field in the Bills game. Then they put him on injured reserve, so it knocked him out for 3 games. And then he had the thumb injury. I think it was the thumb, or it was the finger injury that was just a whole debacle. The way they handled that was just a debacle because he can't play, but you're going to have him as the backup. And then the Ravens game, he can't play, but you're going to have him as the backup. And then he eventually played. So it was just stupid. So you need a viable, good backup that, God forbid, he does get banged up this year, which I hope he doesn't. the backer can come in and win some games, unlike Jacoby Brissett, who came in and didn't win any games for us. Sorry, Houston Texans game. I apologize, Jacoby. So I went out there and I was looking at the list. You have Jameis Winston, you have all these quarterbacks, and I thought of Marcus Mariota. I said, let's get the Hawaiian guys back together, have that 1-2 tandem. And then I saw his inaccuracies and his injury history, and I'm like, So I'm saying Miami Dolphins should go after Teddy Bridgewater. I think they give Teddy Bridgewater a 2-year contract, make the first year guaranteed, make it about $8 million a year, give or take, but make that first year guaranteed. So, make it about 17-16 million, 2 years, make about $8 million guaranteed, make that first year guaranteed, and then we'll see how it goes from there. But I'm going after Teddy Bridgewater. I think he's more accurate, I think he's more reliable, and I think he would be a better backup to bring in, and God forbid again Tua goes down, or even have that competition push Tua, because if Teddy does better, put Teddy in. I'm always in the mindset of the best quarterback should play, best players should play all around, all 53. But God forbid Tua does go down. I think Teddy Bridgewater can give the Dolphins a real good opportunity to win some games. And I wanted Teddy Bridgewater to come to Miami well before. I think 2019, I was saying Teddy Bridgewater should come. I think he ended up going to Carolina. So as a backup quarterback, I'm going with Teddy Bridgewater. Then we're looking at the running back situation, right? I think I would like them to bring back Philip Lindsay, and I'd like to bring them back Duke. I'd like to bring them both back. But if they can't, or if they only bring one back, that's only 2 running backs that the Dolphins have. And I do want to draft a running back. So this is a situation where I'm double dipping here. I'm going to bring in potentially 2 free agent veteran running backs, and I'm drafting one as well, whether with the 29th pick or our first pick in the second round. And kind of, if you watch the last video, you kind of can feel who I want the Dolphins to draft at the running back position. At first, I wanted James Conner, right? I even had his name written down here, 2 years, $13 million, 7.75 guaranteed, about 6.5 a year. But then I was like, I was looking more at James Conner. He's good in the pass game, and he's a big back, and he's good in short yardage. But I'm like, nah. So initially, I wanted him, and this is the other running back, Raheem Mostert. I think Mike McDaniel will bring him in. He'd give him 1 year, $2 million. Won't give him much. But I think Mike McDaniel's comfortable with him, understands how he can work. He can work in this offense. So Raheem Mostert, bring him in. And then the other guy, I kind of wanted the Dolphins to draft him last year. And again, these aren't going to be expensive guys. Marlon Mack, bring him in. He has the injury problems. But again, you keep Duke or Lindsey, draft a guy. I think Raheem Mostert and Marlon Mack, give them 1 year each, about $2 million each. I think you have those 2 guys, then you have Myles Gaskin. You bring in either Lindsey or Duke, one of those guys, and you draft a guy. I think your running back situation got a lot better than it did last year. So those are my running backs. Fullback. Dolphins already brought in a fullback. He was a tight end, bringing a fullback. I'm bringing in Patrick Ricard. Yes. He is a well-known fullback. He is and I wouldn't say really good, but he's a good fullback. Bring him in 2 years, $7 million. Make that first year guaranteed, kind of like Teddy Bridgewater, $3.5 million. Why not? Bring in Patrick Ricard. He's a pretty good fullback. He can definitely help this offense out that we are working on. Then we go to wide receivers, right? I see this wide receiver room being completely different. I don't think Albert Wilson's going to be back with us. I don't think Preston Williams. I don't think Preston Williams is going to be back with us. I wouldn't be surprised if they traded Devontae Parker. I wouldn't mind keeping him at the $8 million cap hit. Who else? I'm cutting Allen Hurns. Save that $2.5 million. I'm bringing back Matt Collins, though. He's an all-around, good guy. So I'm probably the wide receiver depth on the draft is deep, so I'm double dipping here again, and I have 3 names down here. First one I have on here, and I wouldn't mind them bringing him in. It's DJ Chark Jr. 3 years, right? Give him about $12 million a year, give or take. Again, don't look at the numbers too much. Don't be like, oh, you give him $12 million, or oh, he won't take that much. Just These are the guys that I think the Dolphins should target. But he's a deep threat. He can go well with all the short passes that we have going on. He can be that deep threat, kind of be that 1-2 punch with Parker, be that deep threat because he has that speed to get over the top. So DJ Chark Jr. Juju, from what I'm seeing, he's 1 year, $8 million, about 6.5 guaranteed. He's that physical slot. He will be good in that short pass game, especially we're throwing that zone run. Why not bring in Juju? Maybe for 1 year, see what he does. And obviously I've written down here Amari Cooper, but he hasn't been cut yet. You guys know how I feel about Amari. A lot of guys think that he's not as productive and he's injury prone. He only missed 1 game out of the past 3 years. 2,000 yard seasons out of the past 3 years. Bring him in. Depends on how much he wants. He's still getting paid by Dallas, So we'll see how that pans out. So those are the wide receivers. Again, DJ Chark Jr., that's the guy I target. Maybe Juju, depending on if he wants that 1 year and if Amari Cooper becomes available. Now, not all 3. I'm not paying for all 3. I can already tell people are going to go. If you went to the comment section and said anything before, I notice people do that. People go to the comment section and comment as I'm talking instead of finishing hearing what I'm saying, and then I read their comment and I go, I literally answered that. Or, no, that's not what I want because I explained. Just wait. Wait to comment. Wait till I'm done talking to comment. I'm not going for all 3. I'm not signing all 3 wide receivers. I potentially could sign 2 with DJ and Juju, being that they wouldn't cost as much, being that from what I'm seeing, Juju's about a 1 year contract, but not all 3. Okay, take a deep breath. I'm not signing all 3 wide receivers. Then we go to the offensive line. Here is where I'm making my big move on the offensive line, and I'm going to talk about why this is important. First and foremost, if I had a list of who's the most important guy, number 1 I'm going after, and I'm, pinpointing this guy, I'm putting my sights on him, and I'm going after him, that is center Ryan Jensen, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I want the Miami Dolphins to bring in a veteran center. To me, it is crucially important that we have a veteran center. Ryan Jensen, from what I'm seeing, 3 years, $39 million, 24 guaranteed, $13 million a year. Go after Ryan Jensen. I think that would be so important to get that veteran, good center. You can still draft a center. We have 2 fourths, we have a third, whatever. You can draft a center and have him groomed behind Ryan. Ryan's up there in age. I think he's around 30. Get Ryan Jensen. That's number 1. Now, I'll give you my philosophy a little bit here. I want to add 2 vets on this offensive line. I think that we have some guys on here that, with the right coaching, our offense coordinator and our offensive line coach work with the offensive line. Very good at, our offensive line coach, offensive coordinator did fantastic things with the Chargers. Applebaum did fantastic thing with Boston College. I think that they can work well with Robert Hunt, Solomon Kinley, even Austin Jackson. A lot of people want to hop off Austin Jackson, but they want to defend Tua. Hand in hand, What I say? I said Solomon Kinley, Robert Hunt, Austin Jackson, even Liam Eichenberg. A lot of people are jumping off Liam Eichenberg. I think he could do well. Not maybe necessarily at tackle because I know he has the short arms, but I think he could do well in this offense. But I want to add 2 vets. Now, I said Ryan Jensen, right? There are 3 tackles available. One of them, Orlando Brown Jr., is going to be expensive. He also possibly can get franchise tagged by the Chiefs. From what I'm seeing, it's like a 5-year, $105 million, 73.5 guaranteed, $21 million a year tackle. He's good. He's worth the money, but I don't know if I'm doing that. You could potentially draft one. There's some good tackles out there. The other 2 I have written down that I'm interested in, you have Armstead, right? Teron Armstead from the Saints. From what I'm seeing, again, it's another $20 million a year, 3 years, $60 million, 43 guaranteed. My problem is the guy can't stay healthy. And I'm not about to invest all this money into somebody who can't stay healthy. So I'm thinking tackle Trent Brown. 2 years, $20 million, $15 million guaranteed. He's getting about $10 million a year. Big physical tackle. Really like his play. Obviously, we played them twice. So my 2 signings on the offensive line, again, I want vets, two vets on the offensive line starting. It's Ryan Jensen, center, $13 million a year. Obviously, he's getting a 3-year contract, and Trent Brown, $10 million a year, 2-year contract. Those are my two vets I want on this offensive line. And I told you, I think with the coaching, I think the younger guys, especially, so you'd have, I'd probably put Trent Brown. Well, if two is starting, I'd probably put Trent Brown at right tackle. You have Robert Hunt over there. Then you have Jensen at center. And then on the other side, if we draft the guy and he's way better, again, coach it up. But I'd probably put Liam back at left tackle. And I have Austin Jackson compete with somebody, bring in some lower tier guys, but I'm talking like top tier guys. Jensen, Trent Brown are my two signings on the offensive line. Then we go to defense. Now, if the Dolphins cannot bring in, like if they can't come to an understanding and get Emmanuel Ogbah signed, which I'm hearing, again, Chris Greer said at the Combine that he is talking with him, and he's talked to him more than Gesicki, but I think that's only because Gesicki was at his wedding. And I'm not going to talk about that because people are always trying to make drama out of nothing. So if they can't get it done with Ogbah and he does hit the open market and eventually leaves, I am targeting Harold Landry III from the Tennessee Titans. This man was an absolute beast. He will make probably as much as Emmanuel Ogbah would. 4 years, $60 million, 32 guaranteed, roughly around $15 million a year. I'm going after him. If the Dolphins cannot sign and keep Emmanuel Ogbah, I am going after Harold Landry III. Now, I got rid of Clayton Fedulum and I got rid of Eric Rowe. That makes us thin at safety. We have Brandon Jones and we have Javon Holland. I'm going out there and I'm getting Marcus May, safety, from the Jets. 1 year, $6 million, 4.5 guarantee. He's not making that much. Bring him in. Have them be that depth in that defense. Be Eric Rowe's replacement. You know how every once in a while they'll plug in Eric Rowe. Do that with Marcus May. And then finally, what happens in the cornerback situation? Now, there's rumors out there that Dolphins might trade Byron. I think Byron is good. I think Byron shuts down the corners that he plays. Now, is he perfect? No, but no corner is perfect. But I think that the reason Xavier Howard gets as much attention and turnovers, and you guys know I love Xavier Howard, and the fact that the Dolphins are trying to extend his contract, which in the flip, I think this year is making $16 million. If they extend his contract, that can also reduce his cap hit this year if they've structured it a certain way and give the Dolphins even more money. If the Dolphins decide to move on from Byron, like the rumors are out there that they would possibly try to trade him, I think it would save the Dolphins about $4 million. If that's the case, I still want that great tandem we had with Byron and we had with Xavier Howard. We had a very good tandem with those two. You're going to laugh. You're going to say you're being ridiculous. But we did it with Byron and Xavier Howard. We went out and paid Byron a ton of money when we already had Xavier Howard. I'm going after J.C. Jackson. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But if the Dolphins, and again, big fat if the Dolphins decide to trade Byron Jones, I'm going after J.C. Jackson. From what I'm reading, it's a 4-year, $72 million, $56 million guaranteed, about $18 million a year. I'm going after J.C. Jackson. I think he's a young Xavier Howard, and you have them both on the field. It would just, our secondary would be him, J.C. Jackson, Xavier Howard, Javon Holland, Brandon Jones, and then you either keep Emmanuel Ogbah or you have Harold Landry. I'm added to that defensive front. I think the defense is so good there. But this is if Byron's not there, if they trade him. I go after J.C. Jackson. You might think I'm delusional, but Greer even came out and said they're going to be super aggressive in free agency this year. So that's my list of guys that I'm targeting. So Teddy Bridgewater's backup. I'm going Raheem Mostert and Marlon Mack, running backs. Again, together that's about $6 million to $4 million, $4 or $5 million between the two of them. Patrick Ricard, fullback. When it comes to wide receiver, either DJ Chark Jr., Juju, or Amari Cooper. I'm bringing one of those three in. Offensive lineman, it's Ryan Jensen and Trent Brown. That's about $23 million between the two of them. That's not much. Defense, if the Dolphins can't bring in Emmanuel Ogbah and bring in Harold Landry the third, that's about $15 million a year. Safety Marcus May, that's $6 million just for his 1 year. And if the Dolphins move on from Byron, I'm going after J.C. Jackson. and I'm not paying him this. Again, these are just rough numbers. Rough numbers. I'm not saying they're worth these. This is just what I'm seeing. And I'm like, all right, let me write these down so I have a rough idea. He is projected to make $18 million a year. I haven't done the math to see if I have any money left because this is all fun and games, and I don't know if they'll actually go after these players. But that's who I'm going after. Comment below. Let me know what you guys think. I enjoy reading your comments. I know I haven't done comment of the day in a minute, but that's because I'm trying to bang out these videos for you guys. Comment of the day is still going to happen. The Q&A video is still going to happen. The reaction 2021 Miami Dolphin fan reaction video is going to happen. They're all still going to happen, but it's just there's a lot going on. So comment below, let me know. If I didn't name a guy like a wide receiver, like if you really want, like I know people are going to say maybe Robinson, or some other wide receiver, or comment below. Let me know. I didn't go with Cordell Patterson. I think he's up there in age, so I didn't really go towards him. And there's some other guys I didn't really go towards. If there's any linebackers, free agent linebackers that you would target, comment that below. Let me know why, because I didn't really see any that we were like, ooh. Like I said, there was Van Der Esch. I was like, all right, maybe him. But comment below, let me know. I'll see you guys tomorrow with the trade video, where I'm going to talk about potential trades, who the Dolphins could trade for as well as sign. But other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. Hope it was worth the wait. And other than that, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. But like usual, stay classy and fins up.